Hi, ladies and gentlemen. A very good morning to all of you. My name is Shirley Tay, and I'm one of the National Council members of ACCIM. ACCIM is the abbreviation for the Associated Chinese Chamber of Commerce and Industry of Malaysia, and I am the moderator for today's event. It gives me great pleasure to welcome every one of you to this webinar on Halal certification, prospects and opportunities of World Halal Market. I'm sure everyone is aware that Halal market is huge and it is growing in an unstoppable manner. Many of us would want to take this as a factor really to consider, especially from a business perspective and a business standpoint. Now, looking at today's topic, right? You would know that it is going to be a very informative, beneficial session because our main speaker is someone very qualified, knowledgeable, and he's able to tell you what you ought to know about the Halal market and its future prospect. But before I invite him, we will first begin by inviting someone who is very important and active in ACCIM. He's none other than Yang Berbahagia Dato Tian Meng, Secretary General of ACCIM, to deliver his opening and welcoming remarks. Dato Tan, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Shirley. A very good morning to all. Welcome to the ACCIM's webinar on Halal certificate, prospects and opportunities of Halal world market. There are an estimated 1.9 billion Muslims in the world today, making up roughly 26% of the global population. This figure tells us that the Halal products have great potential in the global market. As the consumption of Muslims worldwide continues to rise, the demand for Halal certified products in the non-Muslim market have also gradually increased. The global Halal market is expected to grow from 3.1 trillion USD in 2018 to 5 trillion USD by 2030. Closer to home, Malaysia Halal market was estimated at 68.4 billion USD in 2018 and will continue to grow to a size of 113.2 billion USD by 2030. I am certain that the Halal sector can become a strong contributor and act as a catalyst through its value position in the global economic recovery. The Halal industry has now expanded beyond the food sector to include beverage, pharmaceutical, fashions, cosmetics, health products, toiletries, and medical devices, as well as service sector components such as logistics, marketing, print, and electronic media, and many more. The Halal sector is considered one of the most important industries in Malaysia. Malaysia government has always striven to maintain its position as a leading Halal-related industry, so as to encourage more foreign and local investments into the country. The market of Halal product is rapidly growing. Having a Halal certificate is a great marketing tool to help penetrating such huge consumer market, as well as providing an expansion path to enter global market. In view of this, ACCIM is organizing this Halal webinar to enhance the knowledge of the participants on the recent trend in global Halal market, as well as to secure the opportunity to learn the business opportunity lies in this industry. Last but not least, I would like to thank Ustaz Mohd Jabal for accepting the ACCIM's invitation as our speaker today. Your willingness to share your time and expertise on Halal industry will benefit the business community. I wish all participants a fruitful session. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Tan. Your speech is really insightful. You know, it really concurs with my introduction just now that the halal market is really very significant and is really expanding, isn't it? Dato Tan, trillion is 12 zeros, right? Lots
Yes.
of number, huge market, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah,
Truly appreciate you taking time off from your busy schedule to be with us today. But can I just request that you stay on for a little while? Maybe we could take a group photo with our guest speaker as well, Ustaz Muhammad Jabal and Dato Leong.
Sure.
Thank you, Shirley.
Okay.
Yeah, so everyone look at the camera, give a big smile. Our participants are waiting.
Okay. So here, 1, 2, 3. Okay, done.
Thank you, thank you. Okay, let's begin. Ladies and gentlemen, it is with great pleasure I now introduce our guest speaker, Ustaz Muhammad Jabal. Ustaz is well known in the industry for halal training and consultancy. You know, he has been collaborating with many entrepreneurs and professionals. Just a while ago, you know, we were having a little chat, you know, he's very enterprising. He's really asking, like, you know, what different categories do we have in our membership? You know, he would really want to help, you know, the members to expand and to be able to tap on the opportunity, especially in the foreign market as well. And I would also like to mention that Ustaz himself was appointed as the Naga Pengajar Halal under JAKIM Professional Board since 2018. His scope of professional training covers business categories from all walks of life, Malaysia, as well as the international markets, including Japan, China, I think Vietnam, and the Middle East. And Ustaz had partnered with many SMEs, MNCs, hotels, manufacturers, universities, colleges, government, and certification bodies. I'm sure you're waiting for him to talk. So without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, I now invite Ustaz Muhammad Jabal to deliver his presentation on the prospect and opportunities of world halal market. The floor is yours, Ustaz.
All right. Thank you so much, Madam Shirley Tay, for the warm welcome, and also thank you so much, Dato, for the speech. Thank you so much. Right. Okay. Good morning and a very warm welcome to all the participants today. My name is Muhammad Jabal bin Abdul Rahim. You can call me Jabal. Okay. All right. Okay. I am representing Surunai Halal Center of Excellence. Before we begin, I would like to record our sincere appreciation to the Association Chinese Chambers of Commerce and Industry of Malaysia for organizing this webinar. We hope to be able to share about the halal opportunities for the global halal market, especially today for ACCIM members. First and foremost, allow me to introduce ourselves. We are from Surunai Halal Center of Excellence, a technology halal training and consultancy provider based in Malaysia. We are also appointed by JAKIM or Jabatan Kemajuan Islam Malaysia, with offices in South Africa, India, Indonesia, and soon we'll be opening in USA. All right, that's a little bit about us. Okay, and this is, I think, a little bit about me. I think Madam have been covered and introduced about me. It's just a formality for me to share a little bit about myself. My background is on Islamic studies. I graduated from the Al-Azhar University of Egypt. And I also further my study in halal by taking executive diploma in halal management. And I have been involved in halal industry since 2008 as an auditor for the Malaysian Halal Government Agency. I then continued to pursue my passion in the halal industry, and I am now heading the Surunai Halal Center of Excellence, and we are focusing in training and consultancy of obtaining Malaysia, Indonesia, and global halal certification for local and international company. As a technology company, we develop various systems and have now developed a digital halal ecosystem. I am also happy to share that we have assisted and facilitated halal certification body in various countries, for example, Korea, Japan, and China. Thank you so much. All right. And this is basically that topic that we're going to cover. This will be the first session of the halal webinar series that we'll be conducting in the coming weeks. This program aims to enrich participants with exposure, elevate participant knowledge in understanding the general requirement in understanding, and then the halal concept, and to comply with the basic requirements for Malaysia halal certification. So today's topic will be focusing on the current trend of global halal market, and then we're going to look at the understanding halal in halal industry, and also we're going to look at the halal certification in Malaysia, and we're going to cover about the halal issue happening in Malaysia and also globally. All right, next. Okay, so the first topic will be current trend of global halal market. So it is projected that global halal market value will be increased up to USD 3 trillion by 2024. This value covered various segments of industries such as halal food, modern Islamic fashion, media, and recreation. And the number increased significantly as the number of Muslim population increased from year to year. So as you can see here, we have halal food, modest fashion, media and recreation, Muslim-friendly travel, pharmaceutical, cosmetic, and Islamic finance. Yeah. All right. Next. Okay. So this is also some of the interesting fact that we cannot neglect with. So halal export value by product category in 2020 is for the food and beverages is USD 4.13 billion. For the halal ingredients is USD 2.09 billion, and cosmetic and personal care is USD 0.64 billion. And also, based on our partner in the USA, they said that palm oil is the biggest. Malaysia is the biggest exporter in the US, that we are exporting palm oil and also palm oil derivative. This is very interesting. Yeah. And also we have a chemical industry, the value is 0.11 billion. Pharmaceutical product is 0.07 billion. Yeah. And the top 5 export destination in 2020, lead by Singapore, and the value is 0.97 billion. And number 2, followed by China, United States, Thailand, and only number 5 if Muslim country, which is Indonesia. This is very interesting fact where people know that Singapore is a very small country, but yet they are also leading in halal industry. They are the main exporter of the halal product. How can it be like that? This is a good question for us to ask. Yeah. All right. And as you can see here, let's look at the figure here. Importer means consumer. So highest amount of importers and consumers come from the Muslim country, simply because of the high population of Muslim consumers. That is common thought that we have, yeah, because of the Muslim country, so we have a Muslim population. But very interesting fact that the exporters of supply of halal food is also from non-Muslim country. So like the biggest halal meat and poultry exporter, which is from Brazil, Argentina, and even Australia. So none of these biggest halal meat and poultry is from Muslim country. Yeah, this is very interesting fact. Okay, next. Right. And potential halal market based on Muslim population by country. So some of non-Muslim country own high number of Muslim population. This is very, again, interesting fact for those who wish to sell their halal product. What's next is to understand is their halal requirement, because different country sometimes they have their own regulation, and I can say that this is also the trade barrier for us. Yeah. And it's led by Indonesia, Pakistan, Bangladesh, Nigeria, and also Egypt, where the estimated Islam follower lead by Indonesia, which is the number is 209 or 2 million. Yeah, 2 million, 2 trillion. Yeah, the number is very Muslim from countries population is 87.2%, and Muslim of world's Muslim population is 13.1%. Yeah, so this is the main, normally the main country that people wants to export their product to. Yeah. All right. Okay, and also non-Muslim countries with highest Muslim population. This country is known as a non-Muslim country, but they also have a lot of Muslim live in, so for example, India, Ethiopia, China, Russia, and Tanzania. So this number we cannot neglect. We cannot just looking at the Muslim population country. We can also look at the non-Muslim country with the very high population of Muslim. Yeah. Okay. And in general, besides 𝗂𝐾𝐵, across the world, we have other halal certification body. However, 90% of this halal certification body, they do not have any system and are manually processing all halal applications from members. So why is become like that? Because some of them is non-profit organization and they are not connected. Okay. But we have Malaysia recognized 84 worldwide certification bodies from 46 countries, such as we recognize Majlis Ulama Singapore from Singapore, where they also recognize 75 foreign halal certification body from 38 countries, including Malaysia, and also our neighbor, Majlis Ulama Indonesia or LPPOM Indonesia, recognize about 45 foreign halal certification body, including 27 countries. And we also have 𝗂𝐻MA. So 𝗂𝐻MA is also one of the prominent name in the Middle East, where they also put an example. Any country or any product wants to enter UAE, they have to be halal certified or they have to be recognized by 𝗂𝐻MA. However, Malaysia and 𝗂𝐻MA, we don't have mutual understanding. They don't recognize 𝗂𝐾𝐵 and 𝗂𝐾𝐵 don't recognize 𝗂𝐻MA. This is something that become a trade barrier for us. I think it's also similar to Indonesia, where any business owner, they want to export from Malaysia, they want to export their product from Malaysia to Indonesia, they also need to be halal certified by Indonesia. That is their requirement. So the issue is company or business owner, they need to apply for double certification. But we have the solution. We can suggest something for you. Yeah. All right. Okay. So this is the logo, some of the logo from the 84 worldwide certification bodies. Consists of 46 countries. So where you can get the list is you need to log on to www.halal.gov.my. Again, www.halal.gov.my. So you can download for free the list of the halal certification body recognized by 𝗂𝐾𝐵, or you can also have it from our apps, our own apps called Verify Halal, VERIFY Verify Halal. You can get it for free and a lot of benefit you can get from the apps itself. Yeah. All right. Okay. So this is basically the countries with halal regulation. Yeah. So some countries, they require other trade regulation, such as seafood. Yeah. Some country they regulate for seafood product, they require HACCP or HACCP certificate. But halal is not requirement. Yeah. But for Malaysia, for example, we require cosmetic registration with National Pharmaceutical Regulatory Agency. But halal is not also a requirement. Yeah, it's not compulsory. But having NPRA certificate for cosmetic product is compulsory. Yeah, and some of the example, UAE is not recognized by Malaysian certification. It's not recognized by 𝗂𝐾𝐵. Yet they require their certification include Indonesia. Yeah, so for example, any business owner, they want to bring their product to Indonesia, to UAE, they have to apply for Indonesia halal certification. Where else, if you want to enter to Singapore, you have no problem, just use Malaysia halal certification. Yeah. All right. Okay. So this is gonna be the trade barrier for the business owner. Yeah. So every country has different requirement for halal, and there is number one best suitable halal certification body for all. There is no best suitable halal certification body for all. This is common question from business owner. They always ask, what is the best halal certification logo that we should have? The answer is there is no number one, the best. Yeah, you need to look at your priority. You need to look at your business direction. You need to look at which country you want to penetrate your product. That is going to be your solution. Yeah. So it is important to understand the requirement of halal for every country. Otherwise, it will be challenge for you. So obtain halal certificate from halal certification body which have been accredited by ISO 17065. So this is some type of the halal certification body. Some of them is already accredited by the ISO 17065. So this is now become a common practice from all halal certification body. For example, Pakistan, they said if you, Malaysia, you want to be recognized by us, you need to be accredited by 17065. So for your information, ISO 17065 is the accreditation scheme for any halal certification body to run as a halal certification body. It's something almost similar like ISO 9001, but the focus is on the running of halal certification body. Yeah. Right. And we also have obtaining halal certification from halal certification bodies which is acknowledged by most countries. So another solution is looking at the which country you want to enter, you want to penetrate your product. And also what you can do is you apply or you obtain halal certification body which is well recognized from other country, okay, or acknowledged by most country. That will be some of the solution. Okay, and then obtain halal certification with recognition of particular CB. This is something like a mutual understanding. Yeah, all right. So as you can see here, number 4, countries without any restriction. So usually a non-Muslim country. So from this slide and from the previous slide, we have been informed and we have discussed about the non-Muslim country where they don't really care about halal certification, but the numbers of Muslim population is very high. I think this is an opportunity for all business owner. Yeah, non-Muslim country without issue with halal certification, they don't really care about the halal certification, but at the same time, Muslim population is very big. So instead of getting a few other halal certification recognition from other party, so why don't you just use Malaysia halal certification and you can penetrate to this particular market. Yeah, all right. Okay, next. Okay, let's understand a little bit about halal, principle of halal, what halal does mean, and how it's really affect our life. Yeah. So this is the basic concept of halal. Yeah. Halal is not new. Halal is actually have been introduced since 1500 years ago. Yes, 1500 years ago. It's brought and educated by our Prophet Muhammad SAW in Islam. And what make halal industry different from other industry is because of the definition. Yeah. Okay, whoever plan to venture into halal industry, they would need at least to understand what is halal definition and how it can impact in terms of choosing raw material, financial, manpower, and other investments involved. Yeah. So let's look at the definition of halal. By language, halal is an Arabic word which means permitted or lawful. Things or actions permitted by Sharia law without punishment imposed on the doer. Yeah, and we also, the opposite of halal is haram. So what is haram? Haram is also an Arabic word which means prohibited or unlawful, and haram activities are forbidden to every Muslim. I believe whoever have understand what is prohibited, I think it is not specifically prohibited for just a Muslim, but it's also prohibited for everybody. Yeah. All right. And in between halal and haram, there is one thing we call as shubha, shubha or doubtful, or in Malaysia sometimes we end our sentence with quote. For example, some of the people ask whether this is halal or not. Then our answer is halal quote or haram quote. So that's actually mean shubha, or that's actually the sign of doubtful. Yeah, you shouldn't use quote if you don't really confident with the status whether it's halal or haram. Yeah. So shubha is an also Arabic word which means doubtful. If one does not know the halal or haram status of a particular food or drink, such a food or drink is mashbuh, and what they need to do is they should avoid the food. Yeah, I think this is also the catalyst or the main reason why halal product or why F&B product in the market needs halal. We have thousands of products in the market without halal logo, and we have a Muslim population around 15 Muslim population in Malaysia. Yeah, so we also have like mass media like Facebook, Instagram, where people always viral and people always talk about the doubtness of the product in the market. So people become doubtful, people become feeling uncertain. So the solution for them is by having trusted halal logo. The solution for business owner and as well as the solution for buyer or consumer is buying halal product with trusted halal logo. Yeah, all right. Okay, next. And also halal, we have halal standard. Why we have halal standard? Because we need to apply for certification. So how certification work is whatever we say, whether it's right or wrong, it has to be based on the standard. So definition of halal based on Malaysian standard, according to Malaysia halal standard, is any food or products that A, neither is nor consists of or contains any part or matter of an animal that is prohibited by Sharia law for a Muslim to consume, or that has not been slaughtered in accordance with Sharia law. In other words, is all you need to do is you need to have halal certified chicken or halal certified beef. Yeah, if you want to use your ingredients in your application, you need to use halal certified beef, halal certified chicken, halal certified poultry. That's what number A means. Yeah. B, does not contain anything which is impure according to Islamic law. So the term that we normally use referring to Islamic law is najis. Impure equal to najis. Yeah, but it is more than nila. It is more than stool. Yeah, it's more than that. Yeah. So normally what we explain is we will classify, we will categorize, or we will explain definition of najis to the applicant to avoid them from using najis ingredients. Yeah. And then C, does not intoxicate according to Islamic law. This is also referring to alcoholic beverages, liquor, or even cooking wine. Yeah. And then D, has not in the course of preparing, processing, or storing been in contact with mixed or in close proximity to any food that fails to satisfy paragraph A and B. So if we look at the A, B, C, it is mainly focused on the ingredients and also source of the raw material. But something that we have to bear in mind, it is not just raw materials. Yeah, it is also include your equipment and how you process it. Sometimes our ingredients is halal. Yeah, however, because of we don't really understand about halal, we use tools that made of the najis or made of something referred as impure from Sharia law. For example, brush from animal, brush originating from animal, specifically from pig brush, bristle. Yeah, it is not permitted to use in the processing or production. Yeah, all right. And then does not contain any part of a human being or its yield which are not allowed by Sharia law. Yeah, I think this is also the main reason why we need to wear PPE. Yeah, to avoid a cross contamination from human being. Yeah, by using proper PPE, yeah, all the hair, all the possible of contamination from human being will be can be avoided. Yeah. All right. And also anything considered as poisonous or hazardous or harmful to human being, to our health, is also considered as non-halal. Yeah. For example, we have chicken, we have fish. Chicken and fish commonly known as halal. However, due to lack of storing or proper arrangement, yeah, storing in inadequate or in proper temperature, the ingredient itself spoiled. Yeah, so it become poisonous. It's become poisonous to human being. It become harmful to human being, to us. So what we need to do is we have to take it out. We have to ensure that these such ingredients, because due to less management, due to lack of the management in terms of temperature, it can cause food poisoning. Yeah, all right. Or using of ingredients such as acid boric in production of noodles is also being boycotted from Food Act, but it's also not permitted in terms of halal. Yeah, simply because it's harmful, right? And then also it has not been prepared, processed, or manufactured using any instrument that is contaminated with impure according to Sharia law. For example, sometimes people use used equipment because new equipment is so expensive, so they bought over used equipment. So yeah, it's permitted, no problem. However, you have to ensure that your equipment is free from previous contamination. For example, some of the equipment have been involved in pig production, yeah, or pig ingredients or pig raw materials. So because of that, business owner need to perform special cleaning. Then you need to ensure it is clean and well sanitized. Then only you are permitted to use in your production. Yeah. All right. Next. Oh, so this is the universal objective of halal. Yeah. So this is why halal is introduced, simply because for the sake of a human being. Yeah. So number one, the preservation of ad-din, or the preservation of belief. This simply means as safeguarding the religion by complying to the principles of Islam and protecting it from obliteration, which is vital for establishing and maintaining good spirituality and belief in halal and practice halal as a way of life. Halal has been introduced since 1500 years ago, 1500 years ago, and it's never changed until now and until end of the day. Yeah. All right. Number two, the main objective of having halal in terms of preserving life. Yeah. It refers to any lawful action which is permissible to do as a means of sustenance. For example, food, shelter, marriage, and others. It is also to avoid harms on human soul, which is protected through a set of divine law to overcome problems such as adultery, killing, theft, and others. So, for example, we talk about halal and halal food, simply promoting healthy diet and avoid harmful sources. Yeah. All right. Number three, for protection or preservation of mind. It is referred to the protection of mind and human's intellect from any element that could diminish mental and intellectual ability. This includes intoxication substance and effect that could ruin the mental and think ability. This is one of the reasons why alcoholic beverages is prohibited. Yeah. And finally, the protection of property. Yeah, this is something that is very important for human being. It is very essential. Yeah. So, because of that, Islam encouraged Muslims to earn lawful earnings and prohibits income from illegal sources such as gambling, bribery, stealing, and anything that involve riba or usury, or in other words, non-compliance banking. As such, protection of property or wealth is associated with economic activities that include Islamic finance. And the last one, the last one is preservation of lineage. So which also Islam has determined specific regulation for protecting men's and women's dignity and preventing confusion of heredity through marriage. Thus, protection of an-naslu, or protection of lineage, is important to create a harmonious society. Yeah, so this is universal objective of halal. As we mentioned earlier, halal is not just about food and beverages. Halal is about things and action. Whatever we do is reflects halal. Whatever we do, it needs to be based on halal or is originally sourced from the Sharia law. Yeah. All right. So for introduction, halal comes together with 𝗁𝗍𝗏. It's not just halal, but you need also to put together or associate with 𝗁𝗍𝗏. Halal was stated in Sharia law, and the Quran states that eat of what is on earth. Okay, this is the instruction from Allah, from God. Eat of what is on earth, lawful and good. So this verse implies that humanity is expected to eat, use, and act in accordance with what is not only permissible, but also good, pure, or wholesome. So the verse expresses the godly commandment using two important words, namely halalan, 𝗁𝗍𝗏, halal and 𝗁𝗍𝗏. So what is halal? Halal is permitted or lawful, and 𝗁𝗍𝗏 mean awesome. Yeah. Right. It is common in the halal market for people to use the terms halal and halal 𝗁𝗍𝗏 interchangeably, due to a perception that whatever is halal is also halal 𝗁𝗍𝗏, which is so wrong. Yeah. Without 𝗁𝗍𝗏, there is no halal. Without halal, there is no 𝗁𝗍𝗏. It's similar to example that I put earlier. Chicken meat might be halal, but because of lack management, because of you don't know how to store properly, the chicken is spoiled. Yeah. So because of that, there is no 𝗁𝗍𝗏 in the chicken. So automatically halal will also vanish from the definition of halal and 𝗁𝗍𝗏. All right. So the two terms carry two different meanings. The former implies compliance with fundamental Sharia parameter, while the latter, 𝗁𝗍𝗏, goes beyond those fundamentals to invoke enhanced features that make something good, pure, and wholesome. For example, junk food, okay, chickadees, we call message chickadees, or a snack, yeah. So some of the people ask why a particular brand, this particular brand can get halal cert. Why some of the soft drink is referred as a halal product. But at the same time, we also know that this kind of product is not good for health. Okay, so the answer is ingredient itself is halal, okay, but we need to look at how we consume it. There is a parameter, there is a limitation of consume it. If it's more than is necessary, then it become non-𝗁𝗍𝗏. Yeah, it's become non-𝗁𝗍𝗏. The ingredient itself might be halal, but the way you use it may cause a non-𝗁𝗍𝗏 effect. Yeah, same goes to like sugar. Sugar is all halal certified. Sugar is halal certified because we know sugar are made of sugar cane, which is plant-based product. So plant-based product is halal. However, usage of a lot of sugar can cause you non-𝗁𝗍𝗏 effect. Yeah, a non-𝗁𝗍𝗏 effect, which is something like diabetic, high blood pressure, and so on. Yeah. Okay, so that is the definition of halal and 𝗁𝗍𝗏. Okay, so the concept need to be imposed in our practice. Yeah, it's not just halal ingredients, but it also is include other practice. In other words, it's very similar with GMP or HACCP or even FSMS, Food Safety Management System. Yeah, so whoever can obtain GMP, HACCP, or MESTI in Malaysia, they can easily venture into halal. Okay, so let's talk about it. So halal certification industry. Okay, so why halal products? So why halal products? Halal for a Muslim is compulsory. Yeah, it's not just a halal logo. Halal logo is a symbol of trust. Muslim population currently stands at 1.9 billion people, 30% of the planet's total. We need halal product, and we need product with halal logo. And it's not just halal logo, we need halal product with trusted halal logo. Yeah. So halal certification can benefit our business by indicating to Muslim and non-Muslim consumers that our product meets the highest quality standard, which is halal. And navigating a modern grocery store can be overwhelming for shopper, especially when they are trying to analyze the ingredients. For example, for common or normal people, for normal Muslim, sometimes we want to buy something without halal logo, but we still craving for it. We still want to have it. For example, some of the chocolate brand, yeah, it's a very well known because of the taste. So some of the Muslims tend to buy it even though the product there is no halal logo available for the product. So what we do normally is we look at the ingredients. We try to find non-critical ingredients, and if there is non-ingredient in the ingredient list, so what we're gonna do is we may buy the product. But however, that is not the best solution. So what's going to happen next is halal logo will be the easiest process, or the best solution, yeah, because common people, they don't really understand what ingredient made of, what is the source of the ingredients. For example, gelatin. We have been told, Muslims have been told, gelatin, emulsifier, or in numbers are made of the haram substance, which is partially true and partially is not true. Yeah, so people become doubtful. End of the day, they will leave the product due to doubtful and feel they feel like uncertain. So they will leave the product. They will avoid to buy the product. So rugi lah, yeah, rugi for the business owner. So in many non-Muslim countries like US, France, Japan, Korea, and etc., halal products are being purchased by non-Muslim as well, as it is regarded as high quality product. Yeah. And also this is the halal stakeholder. So you need to understand, business owner need to understand. All right, halal stakeholder and their participation. Okay, number one is halal authority. Some country owns the authority while others depend on halal certification body, such as Malaysia. Yeah, Malaysia halal certification body is owned by the government. Some of the country they have like halal certification body where the base is NGOs, the base is business base. Yeah, but Malaysia, our halal authority is government. So the task of halal authority is to control and monitoring of halal regulation, halal certification issuance, assist in developing, boosting halal industry. Followed with halal industry. So industry, we are the industry. So what we're going to do is we look at the opportunity and we produce our product to cater the market demand. We produce halal product based on demand, and at the same time we ensure that our product are produced in integrity at all time. Yeah, all right, that is industry responsible. Last but not least, halal industry is also based on consumer demand. Yeah, so their responsible is they want halal product. Okay, they choose trusted halal products only. They drive industry demands towards halal products, and they also influence the impact towards positivity or negativity of products. Yeah, right, next. Okay, so halal vs other certification, there is a similarities and difference. Or this is also the fact that people always argue lah. Some said halal certification is equal to vegetarian. Some said if you have all this food safety quality management system, it's easier for you to get halal cert, which is 80% true. Yeah, so is vegetarian product can consider as halal? Partially, yes. However, in vegetarian, there is some of the product is permitted, such as alcohol, yeah, So alcohol for vegetarian or for vegetarian certification is permitted, whereas in halal certification is not permitted. There is a certain type of alcohol is permitted. There is some of the alcohol type is not permitted. Yeah. All right. Okay. Next. Okay. So business owner, are you producing this kind of product such as frozen seafoods and then something derived from the natural, yeah, such as salt, yeah, and then plant-based product, yeah, such as vegetables, fruits, as well as spices. Okay, so if you have this kind of product, you are welcome. You can just jump or venture into halal immediately, because this kind of product is less critical and you have a higher chance to get involved because of the very minimum risk of haram contamination. Yeah. All right. So some of the importance of halal certified product. Okay. So despite of the fact that halal is symbol of trust, it is halal as a marketing strategy for food manufacturers and as a tool for larger market penetration, because halal food can be consumed by Muslim and non-Muslim alike. It's also quality and safety assurance. For example, in Malaysia, if you don't implement MESTI or GMP, you cannot have halal cert. Yeah, if you don't certify, for example, if you have cosmetic product, if you don't have NPRA from the authority, if you don't have the notification, you will not get certified. Yeah, right. So it's also include 𝗁𝗍𝗏 aspect or safety and quality elements. Yeah. Okay, with halal logo, consumer will be assured that the product they are buying is free from filth or najis or something considered as non-halal. Right. Next. Okay, this is a type of the industry or market segments in halal. That is why I asked Madam, do you have like specific data referring to your members? Because this is the segments of halal that members of ACCIM can involve with. Yeah. For the number one, we have halal certification. Anyone involved in food ingredients and raw materials, all type of packaged food and beverages, agricultural products and seafood, herbal food, baby food, healthy food, flavor and fragrances, food services, restaurants, cafe, fast food, catering, or even food truck. Yeah, and then meat and poultry, and then abattoirs and slaughterhouses, and then cosmetic, personal care, consumer goods, pharmaceuticals, nutraceuticals, animals and poultry feeds, leather products such as apparel and accessories, packaging and processing materials, equipments, herbal, Ayurvedic, homeopathic, medical devices, and the list will never end. Yeah, and also some of the services can be also involved or associated with halal is hospitality and tourism, medical tourism and healthcare, logistic services, halal trading, such as importers, exporters, wholesaler, distributors, retailers, supermarkets, hypermarkets, as well as ports. Yeah, ports is actually also involved in logistic. Yeah, it's part of the logistic. Yeah. All right. So in other words, this is the halal 𝗁𝗍𝗏 or halal certification definition. So the requirement is you need to have halal product or halal ingredients or halal raw material. For critical ingredients or critical raw material, you need to have proof that the ingredient is halal. So what is the proof of halal ingredients? The proof of halal ingredients can be halal certification from a recognized halal certification body. Number two, you can prove your product by showing product specification, ingredient breakdowns, or even MSDS. Provided this kind of product is less critical, it is made of plant-based. Yeah, and then your product is also made in 𝗁𝗍𝗏 condition, or in other words, you need to have like GMP practice. You need to implement GMP practice in your premise. Yeah, that's why I said whoever have been certified GMP, they are actually 80% halal certified. So all you need to do is look at the requirement of the ingredients. Then you can be halal certified and easier for you. Okay, so this is general requirements of halal, which is consists of 17 elements. So basically, we need to comply with all the 17 requirements. Then only you can be halal certified, which is consists of raw materials, equipment, tools, workers, management. Malaysia Halal Management System 2020. This is related to halal assurance management system. And then they also have requirement related to your product, menu and services, labeling and packaging, cleaning and sanitation, documentation and records, process, transportation, facilities, worship elements, storing, premise, training, OEM, and also elements of compliance to regulation. We don't have much time for today, but for those very interested or for those who plan to have halal certification, we will conduct different training, different session to to cover requirement, specifically requirement for each of the elements. Yeah. All right. So this is a list of documentation for application. Applicants need to have a company profile and registration of company SSM, premise license from the local authority, and then annual financial statement, and then appointment letter of Muslim Malaysian workers. And then you need to have a list of product, menu, list of raw materials, and then supporting documents of raw materials, and then product label graphic, premise plan layout, premise location map, as well as My E-Halal online application copy. Yeah. Okay, and this is the application flow. Yeah, application flow of Malaysia Halal certification. Start with applicant need to fill the form, online form, and then you need to submit. So within 24 hours, you can get your own ID and password. Once completed, fulfilling all the information needed by My E-Halal online application, you need to submit. So within 5 working days, you need to submit a hard copy of supporting document. Otherwise, your application will be rejected. And then JAKIM's officer or Jabatan Agama Islam Negeri officer will review your application. And if it's okay, they will pursue to the next stage, which is they will issue letter, charges later. And then for you to make a payment, then only they will come for audit. So before that, if your application is not succeed, your application will be rejected, or if you are lucky enough, they will call you and ask you to make a rectification. Yeah. All right. And then they will schedule for audit. Then they will perform on-site audit. And again, there is a possibility that your application will be rejected. What we need to do is we have to avoid from doing mistake or doing offenses. Like there is a 3 type of offenses. You need to avoid from doing major and serious offense. Sometimes, if you still committing minor offenses, they will forgive you. They will give you some time to do rectification. Then after that, we can resubmit our application. Then they will process again. Yeah. All right. So then we will submit our application. Sorry, they will submit your report to Malaysia Halal Certification Panel. And then if everything is okay, you will be rewarded with a halal certification for 2 years. For 2 years and 3 months before expired, you need to do renewal application. So how long it takes to get halal cert? Exclude your preparation, it may be 60 days to 90 days. Again, 60 days to 90 days. But due to COVID, yeah, they have a lot of backlog. They are actually struggling to settle down all the backlog. Based on the information we received from Jabatan Agama Islam Negeri, they have like 400 company to audit in a month. Yeah, just imagine. All right. Okay. So this is some of the fee. And for your information, Malaysia is the cheapest certification fee in the world. Other country like Indonesia, ESMA, UAE, India, or United States, they charge per products or per SKU. Whereas in Malaysia, we charge per application, very cheap. Yeah. All right. some of the halal issues number one is related regarding definition. So some of the business owner, they use word indirectly, which is their main intention is to attract Muslim consumer. However, the use of the definition is not cover the whole entire of halal definition. Yeah. But at the same time, what gonna happen is they create confuse. Yeah, they create confuse to the consumer. And then we also have fake halal logo in the market. Recently, we have issue with meat and poultry product in the market where they say it's halal, but actually it's not halal. They put a logo by themselves. They create their own logo. Yeah. All right. And also in the market, there is a lot of doubtful ingredients such as additive. Yeah. For example, the most popular one is E471 or emulsifier. So emulsifier or E471 could be derived from animal or could be derived from plants. So is it from plants? It can be considered as halal. If it's from animal, it needs to look at the halal certification of the animal. So that's the solution. Yeah. All right, and these doubtful ingredients have been used in a lot of products, yeah, soft drinks, what else, sweets, biscuits, and many more. Okay, and also unintentionally, sometimes the producer, they are using non-halal ingredients without they are aware it is actually non-halal, yeah. So these kind of things you need to be avoid. And it is not permitted to use in the halal production, or even if you have it in it is also not permitted to have it even though it is not involved in production. For example, workers cannot simply bring their non-halal bekal, yeah, or non-halal tapau from rumah, yeah. They need to ensure, for example, the product, the bekal itself is halal lah, yeah. That is the policy. Okay, some of the issue, ayam or poultry with improper slaughtering process, yeah. And also some of the main issue is ingredients or product without any GMP implementation. As you can see here, this kind of the ingredients like udang kering, yeah, dried shrimp or ikan kering, dried fish is originally, or it is can be considered as halal because it is made of seafood. So all the people know seafood is halal. However, look at how they produce. They don't have any GMP implementation. They don't have GMP facilities. Yeah. So it is not permitted. Same goes to kilang rempah. And this is some of the sample lah. Okay. All right. So one of the solution for the consumer, and I think this is a good news also for the business owner. Once you are halal certified, your company name, your product will be listed in our own verified halal. So consumer can scan barcode and QR code of halal certified products and premises wherever they are and whenever they want. Yeah. So what can also you do is you can tag your product that it is sell it here and found it here tagging. For example, you have like you have your products in Mydins or Lotus or Giant. So you want to let people know that your product is available here. You can use features sell it here and found it here tagging. Yeah. And also we have feature like brand owner statistic of product performance. It also supports multiple languages. We have Islamic section feature, latest news from certification bodies globally. We have verified halal weekly code and global halal community support responding to queries from BH users globally. If you have any question, any complaint, you can just email to us. You can just type to us, and then we will entertain. We will try to assist you. Yeah. So our apps is connected to 12 certification body, consists of 50,000 companies with 2.2 million SKUs. We have agreement and signed with 31 certification bodies. It has been used in 169 countries, equal to 4,492 cities consumer search. A lot, yeah. All right. And as for conclusions, so how halal can benefit your business? Halal is universal. and suitable for everyone. It focuses on suitability of food consumable by human. It is not only demanded by Muslim countries, but also non-Muslim countries like US, France, Japan, Korea, and etc. Halal products are being purchased by non-Muslim as it is regarded as high quality product. So by having correct halal recognition, it allows your products to penetrate globally and increase profitability. Halal certifications from credible halal certification bodies provides assurance on product integrity, thus attract trust from consumer, especially from Muslim consumer. So with that, I'm so sorry, I have crossed my limitation. I think we still have some time for the question and answer. So I over to you, Madam. Thank you so much, everybody, for your attention.
Thank you very much, Ustaz. Yeah, I mean, it was lengthy, but it was very, very helpful. I've learned so much. I like to especially point out when you mentioned just now about the huge market in non-Muslim countries.
Yes.
That you have really, cleared my doubt, because originally I thought that for business in the halal market, it will be larger in the Muslim countries, right?
Yes.
But you mentioned that the non-Muslim countries actually have huge business opportunity. It's amazing. Yeah. Yes. While you were speaking, I already received a lot of pertinent questions. If you don't mind, it's probably going to take you about maybe half an hour. So, okay, let's get started. The very first one, I think, is quite easy. Say that, may I know how long is the valid period for halal certification, Ustaz?
2 years. 2 years.
2 years, is it?
Yeah, yes. For the slaughterhouse, only 1 year. Because slaughterhouse is a very critical category. Yeah, so slaughterhouse 1 year, other than slaughterhouse 2 years.
Okay, so it depends on what sort of certification you're talking about.
Yes.
Right, if the certification for slaughterhouse will be shorter, it will be 1 year, and then others will be probably 2 years. Is it right to say that?
Yeah, it's 2 years. It's 2 years.
Okay, right. Okay, I personally have a question myself, if you don't mind.
Sure.
Because you mentioned just now during your presentation, right? You were talking about you are now having offices in India, Indonesia, USA, and perhaps in other parts of the world. And you're working towards global certification. What I'd like to know, Ustaz, is this. When you talk about global halal certification, in my opinion, it's very important, because if I may quote an example, right, a license, let's say from Infanka in US, to us, it's like business people like us, we want to know, will there be like a future kind of advancement to a uniform kind of halal certification, rather than every time we need to go to different countries and apply the halal certification in their country. What do you think about the future prospect in this regards?
Yeah, all right. Thank you so much. This is a very popular question from the business owner because we don't want to spend much on the certification. No, every country we want to penetrate, we have to apply the certification. So this also have been discussed by the different certification body from different country, and suggestion from the business owner is to have one logo where unite all the requirements, right? So, however, it have been discussed. It have been proposed to SMIC. SMIC, SMIIC. SMIC is where all this OIC country, they discuss about this, and I think they're still in the stage of discuss. We still don't have any, I think, concrete solution for that. So for the time being, that is one of the intention why we have a different office in different country. We want to bridge you to this country with a proper halal knowledge. That is number one. Number two, we are also promoting Malaysia halal from this country. For example, US. Okay, we promoting halal product from US to Malaysia. Okay. Number three, we are also helping halal product in USA to be halal certified by their local authority, and they can bring their product to our partner countries. For example, like I told you earlier, we have office in Indonesia, and then Indonesia said, okay, we want to have our requirement is to have halal logo for any product. So we will consult halal product from US to get Indonesia certification, then they can bring to Indonesia. For the Malaysian company, if you want to bring your product to Indonesia, then we can train you, we can consult you, we can advise you in terms of that. That is our main intention, and I hope I answered your question.
Okay, so that somehow relates to a question that I received from PSG. I'm sorry, I'm not sure the participant is a male or female, right? PSG asks, is 𝗂𝐾𝐵 halal certification recognized by MUI and 𝐵PJPH halal certification of Indonesia?
Yeah. Formally, they said they recognize Malaysia. There is a mutual understanding, yeah, that they recognize Malaysia. However, there's still any product, they still want any product to enter Indonesia market to be certified by them. So that is country regulation. We cannot simply ask them, hey, please recognize us. Since you recognize us, please accept us. We cannot tell them to do this and this. So it's up to them. Yeah, it's up to them. I think one of the maybe one of the objective is because Indonesia is very large market. It's a top 5 of the destination export destination. That's why they're demanding such a requirement. So at the same time, they also can what we call generate income from there. And also, I think this is very interesting fact. The fee for Indonesia certification is not cheap. It's not cheap. It's around 50,000 depending on how many SKU we have, how big is your production, and many more. However, some of the business owner, they still choose Indonesia instead of having Malaysia halal certification. Yeah, because why? Because business opportunity is bigger in Indonesia compared to Malaysia.
Yeah. Okay. Right. Okay. So coming back, relating to question from PSG just now about Indonesia and other countries. So you would not see this global unification system being implemented in the near or the mid future, right? Because of the complication that you mentioned just now. So it's going to take much longer.
Yes, much money, much energy, and so on.
Okay, we need more of you to do that. Okay, yes. A follow-through question from PSG, right? The question is to penetrate the China Muslim market, which organization should the business be looking at for the halal certification in China?
Okay, China is very unique, and also I think this is something very sensitive. I've been to China for a few times, and recently, they said the words of halal have been banned in Malaysia. The word of halal have been banned in China. There is, you cannot simply use halal in China. So producer in China, they can use halal logo if they want to export their product outside of China. But halal product from other country, you cannot simply enter China because they banned the word halal. So again, I think the best way for you is to look at the China regulation, China requirement, whether they permit to use halal logo in their packaging. Yeah, in their packaging. So that is what I heard recently. It's like I think last week at least, but there is no formal statement from the government, but this is just a rumor. Maybe what we can do is we will find it for you. We will share it with you. Yeah.
Okay. So Ustaz, you are suggesting that if they have this interest to start a business in the China market, they can come to you for further advice. Is that what you're saying?
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Okay. All right. Sounds good to me. Right. Okay. There's this question here from JL. The question is, I believe most of the players are aware of the halal market is huge. However, the processing time, about 9 to 12 months, is quite long compared to other countries. Do we have any solution about this problem? Can we speed up so that we can catch up with the market? I think this probably relates to what you were saying just now during MCO because of the huge backlog, right? Yes. And 𝗂𝐾𝐵 is actually taking longer than usual to process. So yes. I can see that our participant is a little frustrated. So yes. How can this be, improved upon?
Yeah, unfortunately, this is the fact. Okay. Okay, this is our suggestion. Okay, there is normally two pillars of halal certification. Number
Right.
one, applicant. Number two is authority, which is JAKIM and Jabatan Agama Islam Negeri. So what we can do is we do our parts as an applicant. So we do our part, and as applicant, we do as good as possible in terms of compiling all the supporting document, preparing our premise, make sure that everything is in order, and then during audit by JAKIM or from Jabatan Agama Islam Negeri, they will come and they find out, okay, everything is good, they will fasten the process. That is normally what I suggest lah. Do it right at the first time. So it helps a lot in terms of your to speed up your application. Otherwise, some of the hiccup is, for example, your documentation application, they will find that, okay, you are using chicken, but you are declaring meat. For example, you are declaring chicken breast, but you are providing chicken kill halal cert for it. So it's not tally. Again, what gonna happen is they will KIV, or they will even reject your application. So again, it's gonna take sometimes you need to start again. Yeah, your queue will be back. Okay.
Oh my
again.
gosh.
Yes.
Okay.
Another
so get it
hiccup.
right in the very first instance, very precise, and then fill up all the information in detail.
Yes.
Right.
Exactly.
That's your advice. Okay.
Yes.
All right.
All right.
So is there any shortcut, Ustaz? No. Okay. I asked a very sensitive
I'm afraid
question.
no.
Okay. All right. Okay. Right. So we have a question here from AW. Is there any special arrangement or requirement for fermentation product? Okay, like for instance, soya sauce, bean paste, miso, etc.
Yes. You have to look at your alcohol level. You have to ensure that your end product is below limitation of permitted by the JAKIM lah, which is below 1%. Below 1%. That is the issue, normal issue. So you have to look at the alcohol level. You need to do a testing or something similar to that lah. So other than that, it should be okay. But you have to ensure that okay, soy sauce is very some of the company involved in very traditional way of making soy sauce, which is not comply with a good manufacturing practice or food safety. So you have to ensure that your production line, your premise is in line with JMP or food safety requirement. Other than that, soy sauce is non-critical, is plant-based, but you have to look at the alcohol level. That's all.
Okay. All right. There's another very interesting question. I guess you explained a little bit just now during your presentation. The question is, can we obtain halal certification in Malaysia for apparel, fashion products? You know, your clothing, your shoes, and whatnot. So.
Cannot.
What would be your advice on that?
No, cannot. Okay, in Malaysia, I think what I meant with the presentation is this is kind of the what we call halal business, not necessarily to be halal certified. It's just halal business, but it is not eligible to be halal certified. So of course, apparel is something related with Muslim practice lah. Yeah.
Okay.
Because we have type of shoes made of leather. We have type of clothes made of leather. So for a Muslim, they need to ensure that leather that they're using is free from pig skin. Yeah. So it's type of halal business as well.
I see.
Okay.
Interesting. Okay.
And maybe one more thing. Maybe one more example. Animal feed or cat feed, kan? Makanan haiwan, makanan untuk kucing. It is something that some of the Muslim raise this as an issue. They want their cat to eat only halal food. Which is some of the value, some of the point is valid lah, because they don't want their hand get dirty or contaminated with which is not permitted by Sharia. But again, JAKIM said it's not the time yet, and there is no reference for that. But it's still in the halal, we call halal business that you can enter lah. That's why some of the producer of animal feed, they also put other term instead of halal. They put like suci, like bersih, or suitable for Muslim, something like that.
I see. But I think it makes a lot of sense, isn't it? Because since they are your pets, right? If you're talking about kucing, then because they cuddle the cats a lot, So
Yes.
I'm sure the Muslim would want to make sure that, the cats actually eat, a food which are certified as halal. It makes sense to me. Yeah, okay, thank you for that. Okay, there's this question. Maybe I can tweak it a little bit, okay? Because you say that do Indonesian products require Malaysia halal certification to be sold in Malaysia? So I guess maybe the question here means that if maybe I can put an example, Indonesian food products, and they want to claim that, this is actually halal. Do they actually need a Malaysia kind of halal certification to be sold in Malaysia then?
No need. Malaysia, we are very good. We welcome everybody.
Okay, so no need.
As long they are recognized by Malaysia, they can just bring Indonesian product to Malaysia. No issue.
Okay, that's an amazing answer from you. Okay, I do have a question here, especially relating to a lot of maybe government grants and incentive and support, right? So the question here is that, are there any schemes or facilities that are provided by the government to really encourage companies to comply with halal certification? And if they are, how can we tap into this?
Okay. The well-known one is from SME Corp lah. So SME Corp is very well-known with assist what we call entrepreneur to become halal certified. They have like grant or even, if I'm not mistaken, some soft loan lah to assist company to be halal certified. That is the well-known one. Other than that, like bank, there is a various bank who are also now looking at the halal business, where they welcome all these business owner to what we call to make a loan from them and to use their facility, and then use their facility lah to be halal certified. So what we have with this kind of bank is you can also get our assistant, our consultancy by using their facilities. Yeah, for example, we have like Bank Muamalat, and we're also working with UOB, Bank Islam, and other bank. They said it's not just a loan, it's not just a facility, but also you can get help, advice from our consultant, which is Surunai, something like that.
Okay. There was a question being asked by the participants in the Ustaz, because they really want to know more. And then you have actually showed 40 over slides. They're asking whether they can get your slide presentation. And your office has just responded that they can get a copy, correct?
Right. Yeah. Yes. Normally we will give it to you. No problem.
Okay.
Throw is now, for everyone.
Okay. There's a question here. Hopefully it's not too sensitive, Ustaz. Is it harder for a non-Muslim company to apply and obtain approval for halal certification? What are the ways to ease the application progress? I think you answered that just now, right? Make it right the first instance. Make sure you provide all the information. Don't confuse the person who is processing the file. But is it harder for non-Muslim companies to get the halal certification?
No, tak lah. No such thing. No such thing.
No such thing.
No
absolutely not true.
No, but this is very interesting fact. Yeah, like I said earlier, 80% of the business owner, 80% of the halal certification holder is from non-Muslim or non-Bumiputra business owner.
Okay.
So it's not from a Muslim. So because why? Simply because we have our own standard. Whoever can comply with the standard, you are eligible to be awarded with halal cert. It's not because you are Malay ke, you are Chinese ke, it's not because of that. It's because how you can operate in accordance to halal standard, how you can fulfill all the requirements. That is important.
Okay, good to know. Okay, we'll take probably final 2 or 3 questions. Yeah,
sure.
There's one question here. Does a non-processed raw herbs require halal cert as attachment?
Okay.
So herbs which are not processed, they're raw herbs. I don't know what they are. I mean, there are so many type of different herbs being sold in the market, So if I guess YS is asking that if he or she wants to market this product and they're raw, they're not processed, do you need a halal certificate or not?
Okay, all right. Right, number 1, halal certification is not compulsory. Okay, in Malaysia, halal certification is voluntary basis application. That is number 1. Yeah. Number 2, herbs. herbs is considered as non-critical ingredients. Non-critical ingredients. Okay, so non-critical ingredients means everybody knows it's halal. Okay, however, if you want to apply your products to be halal certified, you have to ensure that your herbs is not fresh herbs. So what I mean with fresh herbs is you pluck from the farm and then you just want to make it halal. It cannot be like that. It needs to have process. It's something like this. You pluck from the farm and then you have proper premise and then you do some sort of process such as cleaning and then cutting and then packaging, and then we can give you halal logo for your product in your packaging. It's like that. It cannot be certified from farm, halal certified farm, no such thing. Okay. Okay. It needs to involve with a process.
Yeah, because you did say just now that it's the surrounding. The surrounding is also very important, and the application too, like the brush that you use, isn't it?
Yes,
that is
exactly.
important as well. Okay.
Sure.
Okay. Ustaz, do you mind if we take the last questions?
Sure, can, no problem.
Okay. The question here is, why is animal-based ingredient considered critical in halal? How do you know that if the ingredient is eligible for halal certification?
Okay, number one, we have like list of ingredients that probably made of animal, made of animal. So number one. So based on that, if for example gelatin, gelatin could be from plant, could be from animal. So if it's from animal, automatically we will ask for halal supporting document, which is halal cert, available, valid halal cert. Yeah, they must have halal cert from recognized certification body. Okay. Number two, why is considered as critical? Because animal need to be slaughtered according to Sharia law. Because of that, so without halal cert, there is no guarantee that this animal is slaughtered according to Sharia law. And I think I should share this. This is also become a main challenge for the cottage business or kampung business. Okay, they have like a restaurant or warung kecil, they want to be halal certified. I said number one, if you have like very nice rendang or very nice ayam masak merah, but you are using this daging and this ayam from the slaughterhouse which is not certified by JAKIM or Jabatan Agama Islam Negeri, even though it's halal, you cannot apply for it. Even though the slaughterman, you know who is the slaughterman, you know who is the owner of the slaughterhouse, even though the haji is the one slaughter the animal. So because they don't have the halal cert, they still cannot use the ingredient for the application. So because of that, so halal certification is not just about trust, it's also come together with objective system. You need to prove everything is haram unless you can prove it halal. So that is the direction of certification. It's not like a daily business or daily practice where some of the Muslim go to this kedai or this warung because I think it's halal. Because just because you think it's halal, it doesn't mean halal. But approach of certification is different. Everything is haram until you can prove it halal by having proper document, proper halal supporting document. So that is different.
Yeah, very clear. Thank you very much, Ustaz. That was very helpful, very insightful as well. So, ladies and gentlemen, basically this concludes our Q&A session. And we have also come to the end part of our today's webinar. But if you have any questions, not to worry, because we can later provide an email address that you can post them. And Ustaz and his diligent team have kindly consented to provide the answers accordingly. Now, I would like to really express our appreciation to Dato Tian Meng, the Secretary General of ACCIM, for his opening and welcoming speech. And a big thank you to you, our guest speaker, Ustaz Muhammad Jabal, for the very informative and interesting talk, and not forgetting all our participants. We hope you have enjoyed the session. Do tune in our ACCIM news by following us in our Facebook. Tell us how you have benefited so that we can organize more webinars for you in the future. You know, as I speak, the number of infected COVID-19 cases have not stopped. They are still increasing. And the worst is to hear that there is a new variant emerging now. I can't even pronounce the name. Anyway, so please while you're enjoying a little more freedom these days, mask up, comply to SOPs, and take care, everyone. So till we meet again, goodbye.
Bye. Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you,
Thank
Dato.
you, Ustaz.
Thank you, Dato.
Thank you.